Hello, this is the recap / speeddraw video for years 6 through 10 of RAINBOWCLAN. If you haven't watched the series, I recommend going back and watching them to get a better idea of what is going on. These past 5 years were absolutely insane for the clan, and at the end of it all, the clan is nearly wiped out with only 8 living members, which is less than we had at the beginning. But what exactly happened in all of that time that caused this big, prosperous clan to dwindle down to such a vulnerable state? It's time to go over the many cats that we've lost over the course of the past 5 in-game years, starting with those who were alive in the previous recap. Valleystar lived a good and long life, living to be 129 moons old. Later in his life, he became mates with Rosipelt after the death of Tanglespots, had 2 kits with her, and adopted 2 others. He was the prime target of our 2 villains, Silent Dust and Talon Whisker, who have a whole other story that I will go into later. Though he managed to survive them, he was still targeted by them in death after the 2 siblings sent a devastating flood that wiped Valleystar of his 4 remaining lives. Blazestripe, our then deputy, struggled a lot after losing his leg, so much that he found himself unable to do his duties and retired to the Elder's Den. Rosipelt took his place as deputy. Unfortunately, he did not get to be an elder for long, for he developed an infection in the stump of his leg and was unable to survive. Partridge Streak had a lot of promise ahead of him, but fate had other plans. After nearly dying from an infection in his broken back after surviving a cave-in, Partridge Streak developed a fondness for herbs that overcame his love for being a warrior, and briefly he became a medicine cat. I say briefly not because he changed his mind, but he just died. He died of dehydration during the drought in year 7. Highness Heart's story is a rather unfortunate one. 3 of her kits from her first litter eventually died, and after she had another litter with Lavenderfin, sadly both of those kits died as well. She stayed resilient, however, keeping an eye out for her clan members. When she noticed the strange behaviors of Talon Whisker, she confronted him. Unfortunately, this only served to put Highness Heart in the crosshairs of him and Silent Dust murdered her soon after. Calamari Prince had a good life. She had 2 litters of kits with Shadow Poppy and adopted another abandoned litter. Sadly, after she contracted yellow cough, she was unable to survive it and left her family behind. Shadow Poppy lived for quite a long time after her mate's death, living to be 103 moons old. She was a well-loved member of the clan and cared deeply for her clanmates and her family, standing strong even as she lost many of her kits. Unfortunately, she was on the patrol with Valleystar when the flood struck and she drowned in its waters. Lavenderfin was more outwardly affected by the deaths of his children than Highness Heart, and when his mate was murdered, he became a shell of his former self. When he contracted red cough, he had no will to fight it off, and succumbed to it just the next moon. Cedar Hollow sadly never became mates with Shadow Poppy, or anyone for that matter. He was an excellent mentor, however, going on to mentor several apprentices before his death. He was one of the cats who died of dehydration after the drought swept the mountains in year 7. Hellstomach did not live as long as I would have liked her to, and I was really upset by her death. She died of dehydration during the drought as well. Niall also did not live as long as I wanted, but he did get a chance to mentor 2 cats prior to his death. He also died of dehydration during the drought. Gardeniapaw became Gardeniaflit and was the only normal one of his litter. He was mentored by Tanglespots, his father. He was a playful young cat and ended up having herbs and leaves sticking out of his pelt at all times. Sadly, he also died during the drought. Tanglespots ended up having another litter with Rosipelt and adopted a 3rd. He was a great father all the way up until his death, which was, you guessed it, from the drought. A lot of cats died during the drought. Rosipelt actually was the deputy for a while after Blazestripe's retirement, but because of her age, she eventually retired to the Elder's Den as well. She remained oblivious to the treachery of her 2 kits, Silent Dust and Talon Whisker, and refused to see them, as well as her other kits, for that matter, as anything but angels. Unfortunately, she perished in the fire started by her own daughter, Silent Dust. Cinderkit became Cinderpaw, but he never got a chance to become a warrior. He was mentored by Cedar Hollow. He was one of the cats that was vocally against Talon Whisker's misbehaviors, then being his apprentice peer named Talonpaw. He was distrustful of him, and was right to be. Cinderpaw ended up being Silentpaw's first victim, brutally killed by her in defense of her brother, and left out in the territory for another patrol to find. Crestfur, unlike her littermate Cinderpaw, managed to become a warrior, but she sadly did not live very long. She was mentored by Niall. She was an incredibly nervous and an anxious young cat and had her suspicions of Talon Whisker and Silent Dust after Cinderpaw had confided in her his discomfort with them. She died of dehydration during the drought. Now we move on to the villains of the story. Silentpaw's bloodthirsty nature only intensified as she grew, and it soon turned into a fierce desire for power that her brother Talonpaw also shared. In defense of her brother, she murdered Cinderpaw, a fellow apprentice, giving her her first taste of blood. When they became warriors, Talon Whisker decided to use Silent Dust as his personal assassin, wiping out cats that stood against them in their path to power, promising Silent Dust the position of deputy once he secured leadership. Though Silent Dust complied for a while, killing Pachalipaw, Highness Heart, and Shiver, as well as stealing 2 of Valley Star's lives by poisoning his prey and shoving him into the river, she began to question Talon Whisker's leadership, and believed that he wasn't doing things right, and thought that she may be a better leader instead. As tired of being used as a tool by her brother, Silent Dust decided to move things along by taking them into her own paws. She started a fire in the camp with the intent of killing Valley Star, and was angrily confronted by her brother in front of the entire clan. She attacked her, and the two rolled into the fire to their deaths. Both she and Talon Whisker went to the Dark Forest for their actions, but they continued to orchestrate chaos from beyond the grave, having sent a flood to finally kill Valley Star in one final act of revenge. Talon Whisker was the mastermind behind all of the murders committed by his sister Silent Dust. Dreaming of becoming leader, Talon Whisker's every move was made to help secure himself a position of power, and being on the good side of both Valley Star and StarClan at the time, it was easy for him to gain the position of deputy following Rosipelt's retirement. He didn't wish to get his own paws dirty in order to stay on StarClan's good side, so he pushed the dirty work onto his sister, who was more than willing to spill blood for their cause. Or for no reason at all, really. After Pachalipaw died and took the news of Talon Whisker's treachery to StarClan, they then knew of his conducting of Silent Dust. He didn't let this stop him, though he tried to play things a bit more cautiously, afraid of getting caught by another cat as Pachalipaw had caught him previously. This frustrated Silent Dust, who started the fire in an effort to get things moving along. They both perished in the fire. He was sent to the Dark Forest, where he sent a flood to kill Valley Star, and waits to enact further revenge on RAINBOWCLAN. Now we're going to move on to the cats that we both gained and lost during the past 5 years. Pachalipaw was a young apprentice of the clan. He was the son of Calamari Prince and Shadowpoppy from their second litter, the littermate of Boulderfeather, the younger brother of Nutsplash and Furstar, and the adopted brother of Breezecrawl, Blizzardtuft, and Honeythud. He had an insecure personality. Pachalipaw was mentored by Talon Whisker, though he never really felt comfortable in his mentor's presence. One night, while searching for his mentor, Pachalipaw came across Talon Whisker speaking to Silent Dust, overhearing their discussion of their plans to murder Highness Heart. He soon was noticed by Talon Whisker. While the terrified Pachalipaw tried to run, trying to tell some cat, he was unable to escape, as Silent Dust caught him and killed him. Boulderfeather was a warrior of the clan. He was the son of Calamari Prince and Shadowpoppy from their second litter, the littermate of Pachalipaw, the younger brother of Nutsplash and Furstar, and the adopted brother of Breezecrawl, Blizzardtuft, and Honeythud. He had an ambitious personality and was mentored by Shiver. He, along with his brother Breezecrawl, were some of the supporters of Talon Whisker and Silent Dust, though were blissfully unaware of their murders. Boulderfeather believed the two to be a stronger leading duo and hoped that they would soon take ownership of the clan. Sadly, he died from a festering wound at only 19 moons of age. When he died, he learned of Talon Whisker and Silent Dust's murder of his littermate and feels immense guilt for supporting them. Riot Chasm was a former kitty pet who joined the clan after being abandoned by his two legs. He had a loyal personality. Though he was distraught after losing his two-leg family, he became fiercely loyal to RAINBOWCLAN for taking him in. He was the mentor of Furstar, teaching her to be a responsible warrior and passing down his loyalty onto her. In a great act of heroism, Riot Chasm leaked into a wildfire to save Gardenia Flit, and though Gardenia Flit was saved, Riot Chasm was killed in the process. Finch Leaf was a very short-lived member of the clan, having only been around for 1 moon before his death. That being said, there really isn't much to say about him, other than that he had a nervous personality and yet still managed to be a formidable fighter. He died in the fire started by Silent Dust. Honeythud was a warrior of the clan. He was the biological son of Hare, the adopted son of Calamari Prance and Shadowpoppy, the littermate of Blizzardtuft and Breezecrawl, and the adopted brother of Nutsplash, Furstar, Pachalipaw, and Boulderfeather. He had a cold personality. He was orphaned at a young age, with his only parent dying and leaving the kids on their own. They were soon discovered by Shadowpoppy, who took them in as her own. He was mentored by Furstar and honored for his pragmatism. Honeythud was a very rough cat with a sharp tongue, unafraid to voice his opinions. He was very adherent to clan ways, though he was fiercely hateful of the other clans. He was on Valystar's patrol when the flood struck and he drowned in its waters. Blizzardtuft was a warrior of the clan. He was the biological son of Hare, the adopted son of Calamari Prince and Shadowpoppy, and the littermate of Honeythud and Breezecrawl, and the adopted brother of Nutsplash, Furstar, Pachalipaw, and Boulderfeather. He had an insecure personality. He was orphaned as a kit when his only parent died, but was taken in by Shadowpoppy. He was named not for his pelt, but rather for his near-constant shaking as a kit as a result of his terrible nervousness. He was mentored by Rosipelt and was honored for his forethought. He died in the fire started by Silent Dust. Bear Sting was a warrior of the clan. He was the biological son of Lilac, the adopted son of Rosipelt and Valystar, the littermate of Creek Kestrel, and the adopted brother of Gardenia Flit, Silent Dust, Talon Whisker, Quickspeck, Yarrow Shiver, Dashpaw, and Songpaw. He had a confident personality. Bear Sting's parent, Lilac, was killed when he was very young, leaving him and his brother Creek Kestrel orphaned. He was taken in by Rosipelt. He was mentored by Quickspeck and was honored for his strong will. He was particularly close with Cave Sky, the medicine cat, and often cheered him up when he was feeling out of tune. He was on the patrol with Valystar when the flood struck, and he drowned. Creek Kestrel was a former deputy of the clan, the first deputy under Furstar's leadership. He was the biological son of Lilac, the adopted son of Rosipelt and Valystar, the littermate of Bear Sting, the adopted brother of Gardenia Flit, Silent Dust, Talon Whisker, Quickspeck, Yarrow Shiver, Dashpaw, and Songpaw, and the adopted father of Kit Gander Kit, and Nightingale Rise. He had a playful personality. He was orphaned as a kitten alongside Bear Sting and was taken in by Rosipelt. He was mentored by Shadowpoppy and honored for his openness. He was a very kind and caring cat and sympathized with others with similar roots to himself. That being said, he took in an orphan litter of 3 kits as his own. After the death of Valystar, Creek Kestrel stepped up to be Furstar's first deputy, but was not in the position for long, as he was later found dead suspiciously close to the Hope clan border. Yarrow Shiver was a warrior of the clan. They were the kit of Rosipelt and Tanglespots from their second litter, the littermate of Quickspeck, the younger sibling of Gardenia Flit, Silent Dust, and Talon Whisker, the half-sibling of Songpaw and Dashpaw, and the adopted sibling of Bear Sting and Creek Kestrel. They had a charismatic personality. They were mentored by Dayminnow and honored for their warmth. Yarrow Shiver was a cat who received lots of visions from StarClan that hinted at the treachery of Talon Whisker and Silent Dust. Yarrow Shiver had just been putting the pieces together when Silent Dust caught on and killed them, leaving them near the Glow Clan border in an effort to frame the other clan. Quickspeck was a warrior of the clan. He was the son of Rosipelt and Tanglespots from their second litter, the littermate of Yarrow Shiver, the younger sibling of Gardenia Flit, Silent Dust, and Talon Whisker, the half-sibling of Songpaw and Dashpaw, and the adopted sibling of Bear Sting and Creek Kestrel. He had a sneaky personality. He was mentored by his mother, Rosipelt, and honored for his determination. Though he was a sneaky cat, he was fiercely loyal and brave. He was killed by a poisonous snake after succumbing to its venom. Nutsplash is an unfortunately named warrior of the clan. He was the son of Calamari Prance and Shadowpoppy from their first litter, the littermate of Furstar, the older brother of Pachalipaw and Boulderfeather, and the adopted brother of Breezecrawl, Blizzardtuft, and Honeythud. He had a bloodthirsty personality, and liked to hang out with Silent Dust and Talon Whisker as a result due to their bad vibes. He was unaware that they were actually killing cats, though. He was mentored by Cedar Hollow. It's honestly likely that if Nutsplash had lived longer than he did, he would have become an accomplice to Silent Dust and Talon Whisker, assisting with their murders, but because he didn't, he went to StarClan when he died. He died of dehydration during the drought. Dashpaw and Songpaw were 2 apprentices of the clan. They were the children of Rosipelt and Valleystar, the half-siblings of Gardeniaflit, Silent Dust, Talon Whisker, Yarrow Shiver, and Quickspec, and the adopted siblings of Bearsting and Creek Kestrel. They had charismatic and compassionate personalities, respectively. These two were an inseparable sibling duo, and were very close, and both were known for their kindness and caring for other cats. They were soon to become warriors, but unfortunately they both died in the fire started by Silent Dust, likely trying to save each other. Pine Kit and Fennel Kit were two kits of the clan. They were the children of Highness Heart and Lavender Fin from their second litter, and the younger siblings of Cave Sky, Crestfur, Cinderpaw, and Brindlekit. They had the wise and bossy personalities, respectively. These two littermates died about 5 moons apart in age, neither of them reaching apprenticeship. Fennel Kit died of dehydration during the drought, and Pine Kit died of wounds sustained from a hawk attack. Shard Kit and Gander Kit were two kits of the clan. They were the biological children of Spotted, the adopted children of Creek Kestrel, and the littermate of Nightingale Rise. They had the bully and lonesome personalities, respectively. These kits were orphaned after their parent died, and Creek Kestrel adopted them as his own, sympathizing with their situation, as he had been orphaned himself. Unfortunately, they did not survive, with only their littermate Nightingale Rise surviving to adulthood. Shard Kit died a moon before Gander Kit of Yellowcaw, and Gander Kit died of wounds sustained from an eagle attack. And that covers the many dead cats we lost during these past 5 in-game years. It was full of tragedy and sadness, and I'm still a little taken aback just by how many cats died. We're going to move on to what is left of Rainbow Clan, the mere 8 living cats that are just barely holding the place together. First Star is the current leader of the clan. She is the daughter of Calamari, Prance, and Shadow Poppy from their first litter, the littermate of Nutsplash, the older sister of Pachalipaw and Boulderfeather, and the adopted sister of Breezecrawl, Blizzardtuft, and Honeythud. She has a responsible personality and has all 9 lives remaining. She was first mentored by Riot Chasm, then by Nile, then by Silent Dust, and was honored for her composure. First Star, then Fur's Shade, was particularly suspicious of Talon Whisker and Silent Dust's behavior, though she interestingly had a crush on Talon Whisker and even went to lengths to stop him from doing bad things like trespassing, likely because she cared about him. However, this crush diminished when she found out about his true nature following his death. First Shade worked hard to be a good member of the clan, her responsibility and level-headedness earning her the respect of many of her clanmates. Following Valleystar's death, her brother Breezecrawl stepped down as deputy due to feeling he would not be a good leader, and chose First Shade to take his place. First Shade became First Star and has only been leader for a few moons, but will hopefully lead the clan back to prosperity during this difficult period. Jay is the current deputy of the clan. He is the mate of Thrushpelt and the father of an unborn litter, and he has a strict personality. He is a former loner who joined the clan after being forced to leave his old home behind. A strict but good-hearted cat, Jay works hard to make sure the clan is always in working order. He has stood firm throughout all of the tragedy, trying to keep the spirits of his clanmates from burning out. He has little patience for quarreling among his clanmates and can often be snappy with them, but he does it for their sake. He never really expected to be deputy, but he was the only other choice after Creek Kestrel's sudden death, and works tirelessly to fulfill his role. Micah Bumble is a medicine cat of the clan. He has a charismatic personality. He was once a medicine cat living in another clan, but recently decided to switch clans after learning of Rainbow Clan's struggling numbers. Not much is really known about him yet because he just joined, but he is a beloved kit sitter, so I'm kind of excited to see how he gets along with any future kits in the clan. Freshpelt is only one of 2 surviving cats from our previous recap video and is a medicine cat of the clan. He recently became the mate of Jay and is the father of their unborn litter. Freshpelt has stood through all of the tragedy with his head held high, working hard to care for his clanmates. Interestingly, his personality changed from fierce to adventurous, so I like to think his snappiness and attitude mellowed out as he got older, possibly due to the influence of his apprentice, Cave Sky. I'm very excited to see what kind of cats his and Jay's kits become, if they survive. Cave Sky is the other of the two surviving cats from our previous recap video. As an apprentice, he decided to choose the path of a medicine cat and was apprenticed under Thrushpelt. He has a playful personality, always trying his best to keep his patients smiling. He maintains a youthful air to him, even as he grows older, which is definitely something that Rainbow Clan needs. I'm hoping he will start a family like his mentor. Chasm Thrift is a new warrior of the clan. She has a confident personality. She is a former loner who was washed away from her former territory by a flood that destroyed her home. She was able to find Rainbow Clan, and even though the clan is extremely small, she finds comfort in their presence and knows that they will be able to rebuild. Breezecrawl is a warrior and former deputy of the clan. They are the biological kit of Hare, the adopted kit of Calamari Prince and Shadowpoppy, and the littermate of Honeythud and Blizzardtuft, and the adopted sibling of Nutsplash, Furstar, Pachalipaw, and Boulderfeather. They have a loving personality. They were orphaned when their parent died, but was quickly taken in by Shadowpoppy. They were mentored by Silent Dust, who attempted to shape them into a bloodthirsty cat to help her cause. But Breezecrawl's heart was just too big for the evil she-cat to taint. Though Breezecrawl is a little erratic as a result of Silent Dust's influence, they cared deeply about all of their clanmates and were especially close to their adopted brother, Boulderfeather. When Boulderfeather died, Breezecrawl's grief was so great that it became permanent, affecting them in their everyday life. Breezecrawl was made deputy by Valley Star after Talon Whisker's death, but he never really felt he was right for the position. As the pressure of being deputy was becoming too much, Valley Star died, and Breezecrawl refused the position of leader, instead giving it to his sister Furshade. Nightingale Rise is the current youngest warrior of the clan. She is the adopted daughter of Creek Kestrel and the littermate of Shard Kit and Gander Kit. The only surviving kit in her litter, Nightingale Rise remembers feeling helpless as she watched her two siblings die. She carries on in their memory, hoping to make them and her father proud of her as a warrior. She was mentored by her father, but after his death, it was finished by Breezecrawl. She was honored for her passion. And that about covers every living and dead cat from the past 5 years of Rainbow Clan. Thank you guys so much for your support on this Let's Play. It's been so fun to make it, and I love seeing your guys' comments and reactions to all the events that have been going down. I'll see you guys in year 11 as we kick off our first year with Furstar at the helm, and hopefully our clan will manage to grow back to its former glory. See you then.